Veterans Honor Roll at Bangor High School grew by one esteemed member over the weekend. Brittany McCatton was there at Bangor's Junior ROTC honored 100-year-old World War II veteran Don Galloop at their military ball.
Decades after graduating from Bangor High School, Don Galloop returned to the halls of his alma mater.
Speechless, really. I mean, I just never think of those things happening.
Saturday, the Bangor JROTC put on their 88th Ram Battalion military ball. Amid the photo ops, dinner, and awards, there was another piece of business to attend to.
I am honored to propose that Technical Sergeant Don Galloop be inducted into the Bangor High School Veterans Honor Roll.
Cadet Captain Jake Beaverstein says they first learned of Galloop's connection to the program in February when TV5 aired a story on his 100th birthday celebration.
We were watching it in class, and it really gave us this good push to put him in our honor roll, especially at a beautiful night like tonight. He put his life on the line during World War II to defend a grateful nation. It's great to be able to induct Mr. Galloop into the honor roll because all the hard work, now we get to see it pay off.
Galloop served in the Army Air Corps during World War II as a gunner on the P-61 Black Widow night fighter plane. He credits his time in the ROTC for preparing him to take on a leadership role immediately after enlistment.
Then they had a whole troop train that went down to Biloxi. I had all the papers for every guy that was on that train. Then I started to realize that the ROTC background meant something.
After his induction, Galloop ad-libbed a 10-minute acceptance speech laced with memories from his time at BHS.
I come from a small family of 8 children.
He finished by memorializing his siblings. All 5 Galloop brothers served overseas, including Arthur, who was killed in action in World War II at the age of 24.
I always keep him in mind. Thank you very much for everything. It's very good.
Brittany McCatton, WWII TV5 News, Bangor.